regarding the terms used in Bardon circles and also in the three transformations, i.e. Godhead versus non-dual light versus pure awareness / Rigpa, etc. Is the intended meaning the same for all of these things? So this would be a good one just to pass around. So I'll just open this up. Would anyone like to jump in on this?
I can start. So I would see these as different. So the Godhead, for example, is an individual's highest self, which I consider your highest self. So it's your own individual self sitting in the throne of your higher self. Now, non-dual light is there's no space and time, but let's just call it a space. It's like a place. So that is more of an environment and a field that your Godhead can exist in. Now, pure awareness, I would see, can exist at the different levels of reality. A little bit more fuzzy at the etheric, but say, mental, astral, akashic, that is awareness more being a state of mind awareness. So that can even be kind of Eastern traditions, kind of inner work about using the development of mind, liberation of the mind presence. So that's how I would distinguish these as being different, but there's a lot of overlay, and all different traditions have their own terminology and language kind of pointing us to these different states of reality and existence, although the words we use might be different.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you, actually, because I'm unfamiliar with some of these. Thank you very much.
What I would say is this is one of those kinds of questions that I normally like to take a pass on, but not for the reason a lot of people would think. In terms of defining what non-dual light is, pure awareness, God, what have you, I think everybody here has done a pretty good job on that. My issue is actually more with the source material. When people read IIH, they're reading an English language translation of a German work written by a Czech guy whose German translator took some liberty with some of the language in the English translation version. So the reason why I like to avoid questions like this is I'm not even entirely sure what Bardon was talking about sometimes when he uses some of these terms. And particularly because some individuals in our community have a Jesus allergy issue with the concept of divinity altogether, or God, for lack of a better term, that tends to flavor things a little bit as well. So what I would say is pay attention to the state of existence you're trying to engage with and try to evaluate it that way, because that's going to be a little more clear cut. Again, some of the language in the books that was used was either too flowery or unintentionally nebulous, or depending upon the translator, potentially nebulous. So sometimes I'm not really sure, when I'm reading the books, what exactly they're trying to say with these quote unquote higher end phenomena, if that's fair.
Yes, thank you for that. And something I've come across in my short tenure in exploring this field over the last decade is that there are many words that people use that are the same words that have different meanings attached to them or different understandings. And so without these sorts of without clear context before engaging in the conversation and basically setting it up with clear understanding of terms and definitions, you can be using the same word and talking about completely different things. And so I totally get you on that. Okay.